article that said schools back then the swine flu coming back.
Yeah, because what do you mean it would come back to school? If it's swine flu, wouldn't it be where you are? I don't know anybody with swine flu, folks. And we've been from one coast to the other coast. Huh? You knew one person with the swine flu. And, is he living? Is she living? In Utah. And do she have swine flu anymore?
I don't know, I haven't talked to her.
Okay.
I actually heard through the grapevine, like, you know, we know such a good point. I'm like, oh, really? That's crazy.
Okay. Hey, well, that's one out of many. Okay.
She caught it over in Europe.
She caught it in Europe. Okay. She's living though, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay.
We ain't nobody that died.
I'm still waiting here. Who are these people? All right. What's the next part? Go ahead.
Nor was there any lamentation made under these calamities, nor were heard any mournful complaints, but the famine confounded all natural passions. For those who were just going to die looked upon those that were going to rest to their rest before them with dry eyes and open mouths. A deep silence also, a kind of deadly night, had seized upon the city, while yet the robbers were still more terrible than these miseries were themselves.
And you still have people robbing each other. Now, who this sound like? It is your people dying all over the place, and you look for an opportunity to get paid. Now, and where you going to go? There's a wall. The Romans are waiting for you downstairs with a wall and trench around you, and you're sitting there robbing your own people. Who does this sound like? Looters, just cutting loose and in the midst of a serious, baby, all right? In the midst of a serious situation there. Okay? Read on.
For they break open those houses, which were no more other than graves of dead bodies.
One moment.
I'm almost done.
Read it again.
For they break open those houses, which were no other than graves of dead bodies, and plundered them of what they had, and carrying off the coverings of their dead bodies, went out laughing.
So you had people robbing houses with the dead in it, right? And run off laughing. This is our people now. This is our people. It's not enough that your people are starving and dying, but you got to go out robbing and looting. And you notice when that happened in Katrina? How did they know that our people would do this? They did it before. They knew that, okay, well, we can do all types of things. We can blow the levees, okay? We can bring the army out and have them have M16s pointed at the skulls of the brothers and sisters. We can totally break every law because they're going to loot and go off anyway. We can just report they're stealing. And then no one will see what we're doing. That's our
Remember
people.
the name of that movie, The Library
As soon
Sale?
as this thing break out, where there's no, where the cities are gated off for a time. The places they know, because drug dealers still got guns, other people still got guns. So they can't lose a lot of manpower. They'll sit there and let us kill each other off and rob each other for a while. That's what's going to happen here also. Huh?
That's the first thing, brother.
Yes. Absolutely. Read on.
And tried the points of their swords on their dead bodies. And in order to prove what metal they were made of, they thrust them through of those that still lay alive upon the ground. But for those that entreated them to lend them their right hand, and their sword to dispatch them, they were too proud to grant their request, and left them to be consumed by the famine. Now every one of these dead with their eyes fixed upon the temple.
Go to the fourth. Let me see. I'm going to go a half hour more. Go to the fourth. Go straight to the fourth part.
Paragraph 4.
No, 13 and 4. 13 and 4. Read that.
Chapter 13, paragraph 4. Thereupon some of the deserters, having no other way, leaped down from the wall immediately, while others of them went out of the city with stones, as if they would fight them. But thereupon they fled away to the Romans. But here a worse fate accompanied these than what they had found within the city. And they met with the quicker dispatch from the too great abundance they had among the Romans than they could have done from the famine among the Jews. For when they came first to the Romans, they were puffed up by the famine and swelled like men in a dropsy, after which they all on the sudden overfilled those bodies that were before empty, and so burst asunder, excepting such only as were skilled enough to restrain their appetites, and by degrees took in their food into bodies unaccustomed thereto. Yet did another plague seize upon those that were thus preserved. For there was such among the Syrians, deserters, a certain person who was caught gathering pieces of gold out of the excrements of Jews' bellies.
It says they found some Syrians getting gold out of the excrements, the excrements of Jews' bodies. Read.
For the deserters used to swallow such pieces of gold, as we told you before, when they came out. As for these did the seditious search them all. For there was a great quantity of gold in the city, and so much that as much was now sold in the Roman camp for 12 added grams, as was sold before the 25. But when the contrivance was discovered in one instance, the fame of it filled their several camps, that the deserters came to them full of gold. So the multitude of the Arabians, with the Syrians, cut up those that came as supplicants, and searched their bellies.
See that? So our people, to escape, sometimes we would escape, but we wanted to save our gold, so we swallowed it, hoping to get it in our waist later. So they were like, no, they started cutting cats open to get the gold out of it. And that became like, a regular thing to do. Let's just cut them open. Even we see dead bodies, cut them open, see if there's any gold in them. These were Syrians here. Arabians, Arabs. Assalamu alaikum. Read on.
Nor does it seem to me that any misery befell the Jews that was more terrible than this, since in one night's time, about 2,000 of these deserters were thus dissected.
About 2,000 of these deserters were thus dissected. Now, you look at this, and you look at some of these FEMA camps that's preparing guillotines to do organ harvesting. Yes, so some of these FEMA camps are going to be organ harvesting for the rich Europeans. So they'll be dissecting bodies this time. Not for gold, for your parts, which is worth its weight in gold. Okay? Now when you read this, it goes on and on and on, and there's some things that I don't even want to read about, like it's hideous. Some of the zealots bust inside a sister's house, and she had half of the baby roasted on a fire, and they took the baby. Now she was cooking the baby. She already ate half of it, her own child. This is what was going on during the time of Jacob's trouble. And when you go to the Josephus, it really breaks this down in detail to let you know what Christ was talking about. That's why he said, when you see this desolation, flee into the mountains, flee into the wilderness. And I'm bringing this out because you can't say you have faith in the Most High in Christ and not follow the commands. Okay, some people say, well, you can't, seem like y'all acting unfair. No, we acting on Christ. Christ says watch as well as pray. So if you see something going on according to prophecy, you have to take heed and do something. Okay, I wanted to bring this out because you have a lot of people saying that you're not supposed to do something.